Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into the life and career of Shubha Khote.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It is. You probably know her best for her amazing comedic roles.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But here's something you might not know. She was a national champion athlete before she was even on the big screen.
Wow, really?
Yep, swimming and cycling.
No way.
Yeah, early 1950s. Can you imagine?
That's incredible, especially back then.
Exactly. And we've got some great excerpts from a biography to guide us today as we try to figure out what made her career so unique and how she kept it going for like 6 decades.
6 decades.
It's amazing, right? To really understand this, we have to consider what it meant for a woman in India in the 1950s to be achieving national recognition in sports.
Right. Totally different world back then.
It was. It makes you think. Maybe her athletic background helped her succeed in entertainment.
That's a good point. Both need so much discipline.
For sure. And resilience and pushing boundaries. And you see that in Shubha Khote's acting too, she never backed down from a challenge.
Absolutely. Always pushing further.
She had some pretty incredible role models too in her own family.
Oh, yeah.
Her father was a big name in Marathi theater.
Oh.
Her brother, Biju Khote, you know him from Chalet.
Yeah, of course.
And her aunt, Durga Khote, a pioneer in Indian cinema.
Wow, what a family.
Right. Performance was definitely in her blood.
It sounds like it.
But she got a great education too, St. Teresa's High School, then St. Columba, and finally Wilson College for English Literature.
Makes you wonder if she ever thought about a different career path.
I know, right? But maybe that background in literature actually helped her with acting, like understanding the characters and stories better.
That's a great point. It definitely shows a curious mind always wanting to learn.
Totally. And her start in film was actually totally by chance.
Really?
Yep. There's a photo of her from one of her cycling races, and a film director saw it.
No kidding.
And that led to her first role in SEMA in 1955.
From bikes to the big screen, what a story.
Talk about seizing the moment.
For real. It reminds you that sometimes the best things in life are unplanned.
And from there, she really started to take off, especially in the late 50s and 60s, with her comedic roles. Her pairing with Mehmood, that was pure gold. Audiences loved them.
Oh, they were fantastic together.
There's so many hits together. Sashrol, Parosa, Ziti, Choti Bihan, even Love in Tokyo.
Oh, I remember those. Classic.
Right.
Their chemistry was amazing, and those movies are still so funny today.
They are. It really shows how great comedy can last for generations.
It really does. But what's so cool about Shubha Khote is she didn't just stick to comedy. She took on all kinds of roles.
It's so true. Like those more dramatic, even negative characters in Paying Guest and Ek Duje Khilai.
It's that versatility that kept her career going for so long.
Exactly.
While she was amazing at making people laugh, she knew she had to push herself to grow as an actress.
It's interesting, though. She always said she preferred comedic roles. Yep. She thought they had a depth that other roles didn't. She found them more fulfilling than the typical heroine parts.
Wow, that's fascinating. It makes you think about how we define success.
It does. Makes you wonder what she saw in comedy that drew her to it so strongly.
Me too. It's more than just making people laugh. She clearly saw something deeper there.
So true. And clearly the audiences saw it too, given her success.
Yeah, it makes you want to really dissect her comedic style, Figure out what made her approach so unique and impactful.
Definitely. But before we jump into that, let's take a quick look at her personal life. She married DM Balsavar, who was the vice president of marketing at Nosal.
Okay.
It's interesting, right? Even those in the spotlight have families and relationships just like everyone else.
Yeah, of course.
And her marriage actually faced some resistance at first from her own mother.
Oh, why is that?
Her mom was concerned because he was a widower with 2 children.
Oh, I see. It was a different time back then.
It was. But they got the family support eventually, and they had a daughter, Bhavana Balsavar.
Oh, wow. And she became an actress, too.
She did, following in her mom's footsteps.
That's so cool.
It is. Sadly, DM Balsavar passed away in 2023.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But, even while Shubha Khote's film career was going strong, she was doing a lot of theater work, too.
Oh, right.
She directed comedies like Hera Fairy and Hum Dono, and even her own production, Bachelor's Wives.
Wow, that's impressive.
She was so committed to her craft.
She was. And she was on TV, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Some truly iconic shows. Zaban Sampok, which was based on the British show Mind Your Language, and Baba Who Are Baby.
Oh, yeah. I remember those. She was great in them.
It's amazing how she moved between film, theater, and TV so seamlessly always staying relevant.
It really is. She was so adaptable and knew how to connect with audiences no matter the medium.
And even at 84, she was still working. She was in Spy Bahu and Kipkyanchi Rangoli just last year.
That's awesome.
What a journey, right? From champion athlete to this celebrated actress, director, TV personality, she embraced it all.
It really shows you what's possible.
And through it all, she loved comedy. She thought it had a depth and complexity that other genres didn't have.
But why comedy, I wonder? What was it about it that resonated with her so much?
That's a great question. We'll definitely need to explore that further.
Yeah, it really makes you think about what makes comedy so powerful.
Right. Like, we think of it as lighthearted fun, but maybe Shubha Khote saw more to it.
Maybe, like a deeper meaning, something that really spoke to her.
Yeah, like comedy's really about connecting with everyone, right? Finding the funny side of life, the little absurdities, even the tough stuff.
That's so true. We all go through it.
Exactly. And by finding the humor, we connect, we understand each other better. Maybe it even helps us cope a little.
It's like a good joke can tell you a truth about people, but in a way that's easier to hear than if someone just said it straight out.
Yeah, it lets us tackle those tough subjects, poke fun at ourselves, society. It's a release valve.
Totally. And Shubha Khote was amazing at that.
Oh, yeah. She wasn't afraid to make fun of societal norms, challenge those expectations.
Right. She used comedy to talk about things like gender roles, family dynamics, cultural quirks, all in a way that was entertaining but also made you think.
And she did all this at a time when women's roles in film were pretty limited, often stereotypical.
It was a different world back then, for sure.
So by choosing those flawed, funny, more human characters, she really paved the way for other female comedians in India.
For sure. She showed that women could be funny, could be successful, and have long careers in an industry that wasn't always so welcoming.
Absolutely. She was more than just playing a role. She embodied those characters, brought them to life with this amazing mix of humor and heart.
And she was changing people's minds about what a comedic actress could be.
How do you think she connected with audiences so well? Was it her timing, her expressions, or something else entirely?
It was probably a little of everything, but I think she really understood what it meant to be human. You know, her characters felt real because we saw ourselves in them, or people we knew.
And we felt like we were all in on the joke together.
Exactly. It's easy to just laugh and not think about the skill it takes to make someone laugh.
Totally. There's an art to it.
Big time. Real comedic talent comes from knowing how people work, the funny little things we do, the contradictions.
It's about seeing the world in a different way, finding the humor in the unexpected.
And Shubha Khote, she just had that gift.
Over 100 films to her name. And in different genres, different languages, Hindi, Marathi cinema, so versatile.
Wow, that's impressive.
But even with all those roles, it's the comedic ones that people remember most. Why do you think that is?
I think it goes back to how strongly she believed in comedy. It wasn't just entertainment for her. It was a way to connect with people, make them think, even challenge their views.
Yeah, and that came through in her performances. It wasn't just about the laughs. It was about something more.
And the audiences felt that. It resonated with them.
It makes you wonder if being an athlete helped her as an actress, you know? Did that discipline, that resilience carry over?
That's an interesting thought. Those years of training must have given her a strong work ethic, that determination you need for such a long career.
It takes a lot of mental and physical stamina to keep pushing yourself creatively, taking on new roles, always evolving.
And she never stopped. She directed plays, did television, even those more dramatic roles that pushed her out of her comfort zone.
Always exploring, always growing.
It's like she needed to see what she could do, what her limits were.
What's really striking is how she stayed relevant throughout her entire career, from those early black and white films to TV shows just last year.
That's not easy to do, staying popular for so long.
It says a lot about her authenticity, that connection with something universal.
She wasn't chasing trends, she was just being herself, and people responded to that.
It shows a real understanding of people. Her characters were relatable, funny. It helped her bridge those generational gaps.
And that comedic timing, it's timeless, that wit, that charm, it never gets old.
It really shows how talented and dedicated she was.
Inspiring, isn't it? To see someone so passionate about their work, always learning, growing, connecting with people.
It really is. Makes you wonder what we can learn from her. About humor, about being yourself, about never stopping learning.
It's worth thinking about, that's for sure.
It really is. Welcome back. As we wrap up our look at Shubha Khote's life, it's amazing to see just how much she achieved.
It really is. She did so much. From winning in sports to becoming this huge name in Indian entertainment, she really broke the mold.
It makes you think maybe we all have more potential than we
That's
realize.
right. Like, she shows us that if you chase what you love, take those chances, embrace the unexpected, you can do incredible things.
Totally. We've talked about her comedy, her range as an actress, her connection with the audience, but what do you think is her biggest legacy?
I think is how she changed the way people saw comedy in Indian cinema.
What do you mean?
She didn't just make people laugh. She used humor to start conversations, to challenge the way things were, to show a different way of looking at the world.
That's true. She really believed in the power of comedy, that it could be smart and deep and connect with people on a whole other level.
Exactly. And by doing that, she opened doors for so many other female comedians, gave them the courage to find their own voice, their own style.
Her impact goes way beyond film, too. She's a role model for anyone who wants to be in the arts.
Totally. She showed what it takes. Hard work, dedication, and always being willing to learn and grow.
Her story is all about resilience, adapting to whatever came her way.
She was in the entertainment industry for so long, and it's always changing, but she navigated it all with grace, always true to herself.
It's funny, sometimes success isn't about following a straight path. It's about those unexpected detours, those twists and turns that make you who you are.
I agree, and Shubha Khote is the perfect example. Who would have guessed that a national champion athlete would become this beloved comedic actress?
It's all about embracing what makes you unique, staying open to new possibilities.
And she really made a mark on Indian entertainment, inspired so many other artists, and brought joy to so many people.
As we finish up this deep dive, I'm just in awe of her and how powerful it is to be yourself, to be an individual.
It really makes you think, what talents are we hiding? What amazing paths might we be missing out on if we don't look beyond what we already know?
That's a great question to ask ourselves. What opportunities are out there just waiting for us to take that leap into the unknown?
Shubha Khote's story tells us to explore, to push our boundaries, to never doubt what we're capable of.
So keep searching, keep learning, keep diving deep. You never know what you'll find. Until next time.